Hey, Segovia, back with another one. On today's episode, we got some mysterious videos restricted on TikTok. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up before we get started. But I ain't gonna sit here and chit chat all day. Enough with that. Let's get into it. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
There's a story about the soldiers coming in contact with something that you probably described in Afghanistan. Did you ever hear about that?
The giant of Kandahar.
Yeah, and it killed some of the soldiers, and there's soldiers that live to tell about it, but they won't talk about it. What do you think about that? Think that's real?
I think it's real for sure. That's the thing, bro. When you meet them guys who in the upper echelon of military, I'm getting a chill talking about this. Because if they catch you making something up, bro, it's bad for you. You will be on a desk. You know, you will lose your pension. Like if you making stuff up, they don't like that. They call it stolen valor. They take that stolen valor very serious. And for me, you know, bro, when you've been out in the field with dudes that's trained weapons, and you know that you got to be switched on for them to even respect you or acknowledge you or speak to you, you treat them a lot different. So when I see people on the internet calling real tier 1 operators liars, and that's crazy to me because, bro, you take 60 of them and drop them anywhere in any war, any battle, is gonna change the course of that war, bro. That's how bad these dudes are. Like this is the top level. So you know, a lot of strange things took place in Afghanistan.
Okay, y'all, I'm at Whole Foods and they have this thing that says pay with your palm. Like, I'm not making this up. This is not AI. This is real. Like, this is happening right now. I just met this nice lady. Sorry if I'm on camera. But we're just like, no way, y'all. No way. Okay, bye.
Way to work this out. Here's how we're going to do it. Okay? You're a quarterback. Okay? You're favored to win by 10 points. The first 3 times you get the ball, you put it in the hands of the other receiver. Put it in the defensive men's hands. You're a running back. You get the ball, you put it on the ground. First 3 times. You let me worry about the rest. You're going to do this until I tell you you're not doing it anymore. That's how I'll get my money back. What are they going to do? They're stuck.
And they always did that. They
had to
shave points in order not to pay back a gambling debt.
They had no choice. Either that or, you know, the threat is we're going to put you in a hospital. You know?
Right.
I didn't have to say that, but they knew that. Because what I would tell them is straight out, says one thing you don't understand, whether you're here, any city in the country, or you're in Vegas, you're going to pay your debt. You're not going to get away with it. You owe a gambling debt you have to pay. And if you don't pay, there's serious consequences. So just work along with us. And that's it. That's all you had to say.
Have you ever had to actually hurt a person who didn't want to go along with this?
You know what? I'm being honest with you. I personally didn't. And it was very rare that you did, because if you get an athlete to work with you 2 or 3 games, pretty well you're going to get your money back, unless you let him go and get into you for millions, which nobody's going to do. Nobody's going to do, because they know at that point there's nothing to gain. But did I hear of guys getting hurt? Yeah. But it was rare. I want to be honest, because you didn't have to do that.
Okay, now, you don't have to name any names, but these guys that were shaving points, can you tell me the team and the position?
Might as well as name the fucking name.
And, you know, there's multiple quarterbacks, there's multiple running backs. People won't know exactly who we're talking about, but can you tell me the team name and the position of these guys that had to shave points for you?
You know, I got in trouble once, okay, when I did an interview for a big network. And they tried to get me to do this. And I said, look, I'm not going to name names. First of all, it's going to open up a whole big thing. I know as soon as I say somebody, this is going to go wide, and I can't do that. And it's not going to accomplish anything. So let me tell you this. Were there New York teams involved? Yeah. Were there teams around the country involved? Yes. Some people point to games where they can swear that had to be something done. And, you know, in some cases they might be right. You know, it was a little bit obvious. But look, it happens. There's no question about it, and it's going to continue.
So, We're just here at the cockpit. Hello. So the world is flat.
Whatever you guys want to hear. That's what he's saying. That's what these pilots are saying. Oh, it's flat.
And ice wall. What's beyond the ice wall?
You get to that, and if you go down, and then gravity works in a different direction. So when it rains, it doesn't fall on the floor. It falls.
Is there another world beyond the ice wall? Wow.
So this went on for. I was in this club for about a year, 2 years from the start of the process to sort of getting out, really. And at one of the last rituals that I went to is where I lost all bearings on fucking reality and I shit myself. And it was in France and I'd done a shoot. Ended up going to an after party. It was a huge event. They had like acrobatics on, fucking fire breathers. It was boss. And later on in the night, bear in mind, I'm drinking, but I'm not drunk, type of thing. Don't take any drugs, nothing like that. And later on in the night, they're bringing out these platters, and I comes back into like the main, wasn't a hall, but like the main room where everyone was, and there's a body on a table just like this. In fact, this is round about the same size that it was. Like an overweight fella's body, cut open with everything hanging out. It's all been decorated with grapes and leaves and flowers, but like what I think was a kidney was hanging out, his tongue had been cut out, and it was on someone's plate. Who was just eating it. His eyes had been pulled out, but like they were still on the stalky thing, so they were just hanging. And I remember looking at it and panicking. I just had a panic attack, and I started screaming, and I was like, what the fuck, that's a dead body. And some fella comes behind me that had seen him, but had never spoke to him at these places, and he goes, you're making a scene. Calm yourself down. It's just art, Molly. And I was like, this isn't art. And like the fucking scouse bit came out of me, and I'm like, fuck. You know what I mean? I lost me fucking shit, and I'm running down this hall and looking for the toilets. And this fella comes behind me again, and he grabs me and he throws me in this room. This room's pitch black. Absolutely pitch black. And he gives me a drink, and it's this pink fizzy drink. And I'm like, no, I don't want a drink. I don't want a drink. And he's going, you're going to have to calm down. You need to calm down. You're ruining the night for everyone. Do you not understand? You're making a scene and you're frightening other people. It's just art. It's not real. It's not really fucking was real. I know what art is. And that was a dead body that they were eating.
The grid.
I mean, they show us this. They don't show us the actual thing, but we've all seen at these celebrity parties that eat, sushi and vegetables and fruits off a beautiful woman's body, right? We've seen it. They've showed us. We've seen the creepy cakes that people make of a young being, and they cut into it and it's a cake. Like, that's what they show us. Now, she just told us what they don't show us at the parties. That's what they're doing. They're showing us the PG version, eating off somebody that's alive, good-looking girl, right? Like, oh, that's cool, like, cool party. But at the real party, that's what they're doing.
All live in. You notice everything is in squares that we live in. Houses, computer screens, TVs, phones. That's like the kryptonite of nature.
I get what you're saying. You get into the holonomic brain theory, it tells you that the brain is holographic. But there's an encryption over it. It's a square. But this is why I keep telling people you got to think outside the box, because when you think outside the box, you think outside the matrix. And you get into the metaphysics of geomancy and the esoteric knowledge of it, it shows you how you have different ley lines and geometrical shapes all over the planet. And the reason they have the veneration of the cube or the square is because a square is able to absorb energy. It's able to trap energy. Like I was telling you about the moon being the external hard drive of planet Earth, because the moon is actually a representation of the square. The sun is a representation of the circle. A square in a circle, when you get a sacred geometry, is able to live on two different dimensional planes because they both add up to 360 degrees of knowledge. 490-degree angles on the square, that's 360. Then you got the circle, that's 360. Everything on planet Earth, as far as like the matrix, is all cultivated by the energy of the cube and the veneration of it, because it sucks up microscopic waves of energy from our neurons, from our body, and they upload it into a neuromorphic cyber cloud.
Kirk Cameron goes off on Taylor Swift, talking about how her music is leading children to damnation. Check out this clip.
This billionaire pop star in heels is crowned the voice of a generation. What do you get when a billionaire pop star releases an album with provocative artwork, lyrics that mock God, glorify rebellion, and celebrate explicit sin? You get the most powerful sermon that America's youth will hear this year. She mocks God in her lyrics. She normalizes sin. She glorifies lust and rebellion as if this was womanly empowerment. Her songs are not just music. This is discipleship. She doesn't have any kids of her own, but raising kids is hard. Why get into all that when she can just disciple your kids and train them up in the way that she would like for them to go?
Sadly, it's true. A lot of different stars nowadays are raising children up to be in wicked spaces, to believe and to accept things that are not of God, to live their life not according to how God wants them to live it. Then they end up lost when they're adults. Come out of that place, brothers and sisters. It's time to be raised with the foundation of Christ.
Roseanne Barr has been trying to tell us something for a very long time. I'm about to play a collection of clips of her talking about various things in Hollywood, etc. For entertainment purposes only, she is literally telling us that people in Hollywood are full-on vampires in that clip. I found this next clip of her talking about the Black Eye Club, which is very well known in Hollywood.
Some kind of ritual they do, and they all got a black eye.
Ironically enough, Roseanne at a certain point in her career also had said black eye. In that interview we just saw, she talks about it being a complete accident and that people were looking too deep in it, but she does admit that some of it seems to be ritualistic. In this next clip, she literally talks about being asked to do the one eye symbolism in a magazine shoot. Roll it.
Like one time I did a magazine cover and that lady had me hold something over my eye. And I go, why would I want to do that? And she goes, just everybody does it. I go, okay. So I held a button over my eye.
In that clip, she basically insinuates that it's the photographers in the entertainment industry that is causing these stars to do that symbolism. Ironically enough, in the past 5 or 6 years, Roseanne was completely taken off TV, and the reboot that she had for a Roseanne show was completely canceled. It certainly seems like Hollywood and the entertainment industry want nothing to do with somebody who's making these type of comments and saying these type of things. Wake up.
That's the people that do it. Now, are they the ones that are the most wicked? I doubt it. It's probably the upper ones that you don't see that are telling them, hey, make sure you get a picture with one eye. Why? Just do it. Okay. Tell Roseanne, everybody does it. Okay. You know, they do it, right? But it's always the hairdressers, the makeup artists, the producers, like we saw in the Bernie Mac clip earlier last week, you know, of the lady telling the kid to sit on his lap. And he's like, no, it was like the producer, right? It wasn't the actual actors, but they just fall in line and they get sucked into it. And then it's too late. But I doubt it's the actual makeup artist. I think it's the top dog at the studio that says, do it, whatever. You know what I mean? That's what I think.
This just called out Charlie Kirk's wife.
I do want to assert here that I'm uncomfortable with the fact that despite all of the friends that Charlie Kirk made, all the schmoozing that he did, presidents, right, department heads, I am the only person that is publicly demanding further investigation into his assassination. Why?
That's true.
It's totally rubbing me the wrong way. Something's not right here. Even Turning Point USA, they're just like, we've accepted. Like, obviously, there are holes in this narrative, and they're just like, we're gonna just keep up his show. What is going on, actually? I just want to say that and get it off of my chest. I don't like it. Throwing it to some of our sponsors. I tell you all the time about Preborn because I've watched way too many people are standing up for truth. That's what I do here. Just.
She took over Turning Point USA. Charlie Kirk's wife took it over. She's talking about her. Yeah, Erica, she is exposing a lot of things. Why aren't you asking questions?
Take a look at this.
You know, I don't know what to think about that, y'all. Like, of course, if I had a big business like that, of course, I want my wife to carry on the torch when I'm gone. If something, you know, would happen to happen, right? So I don't know, but she is. I don't know. Honestly, I can't speak on it because all I see is clips you guys see from it. I ain't diving deep and watching the actual podcast or whatever she does to see, if she's doing things, if she's mourning, whatever, right? I don't know that stuff. I just see what you guys see. And you know how people can twist up a narrative. So what do you guys think? Anybody that actually watches the podcast or whatever or listens in on it, what do you guys think? Is it, something deep, where life insurance type thing, or is it just carrying on the torch and keeping the legacy alive? Let me know.
I'm going to show you the side by side of this individual, and I am certain, can't say 100%, okay, because we need to find this person's name, but this is a match, okay? The ears, the chin, just everything about this individual is a match. But he is as of yet identified as unidentified, as a Gothic person, and he is also as of yet unidentified as the close friend of Shayna Broderick, who cannot be found anywhere else, or people are not familiar with this person. So I'm thinking maybe he also came from overseas. Take a look at this. I'm going to show you the side by side of this individual, and I am certain, can't say 100%, okay, because we need to find this person's name, but this is a match, okay? The ears, the chin, just everything about this individual is a match. But he is as of yet identified as unidentified, as a Gothic person, and he is also as of yet unidentified as the close friend of Shayna Broderick, who cannot be found anywhere else, or people are not familiar with this person. So I'm thinking maybe he also came from overseas.
I always said, these football gods don't play no games. You know what I'm saying? They do not play games. They don't make no mistakes. You got allegations of beating your wife. Hey, that shit is real. I don't play like that. I'll be off this show. If I get a call right now about somebody beating on sister, wife, daughter, any one of them, you know what I'm saying? So I don't really play like that. And football guys, they brutal. They don't make no mistakes, man. So, hey.
So you're suggesting
they tease you a little bit.
Even?
Karma.
No, it's karma, man. Hey, man, hey. You seen that tackle happen 1,000 times.
1,000
times.
A billion
and then
times.
He snapped his whole leg in half. Then to be 32 by next year he'll be 32 when the season start. You make your money on speed. That might be the last we see of Tyreek Hill. Honestly.
That's when I seen that. That's the first thing
it might really be the last we see of Tyreek Hill, man.
Yep.
And
This is what they're trying to have happen. Chaotic Moon's tattoo circuits integrate unnoticeable wearable technology into daily life. Take a look at that, right? That's a prototype, but you guys have to look up Chaotic Moon and what exactly they're working on. Another article, these tech tattoos will let you become a cyborg without the usual commitment. Then Chaotic Moon, a mobile software design company, is designing a line of wearable tattoos called Tech Tat, which can perform a variety of tasks from monitoring your health to dimming the lights. This is what Bill Gates was talking about when he said that pretty soon cell phones are going to be obsolete and they will be replaced with electronic tattoos, or e-tats. Remember that show, that child show they came out with, the cartoon where the people were receiving a smart mark? And it was all about world domination and essentially Revelation 13. This is ultimately their goal for humanity. This is what they want to do. They want people to be cyborgs. They want people to be transhuman, where they are not even 100% human. This is why once people get this AI, artificial intelligence technology embedded in them through things like Neuralink, these e-tats in the right hand or in the head, they will not be able to be saved. Number one, because AI is programming them so they don't have a soul. And number two, they're not even 100% human. I know y'all remember this movie too, Alita Battle Angel, where pretty much everyone was a cyborg and it was the norm. I think it's a conspiracy now, but like all things, just give it its time. If you haven't already, check me out on Instagram, YouTube at Blade of Judah. I hope you guys' eyes are open, because this is the direction that we are all heading. If you have Jesus, you read your Bible, you already knew that, but so many people out there don't know that. We got to sound the alarm and spread the word.
We are witnessing that
Mujer
today. The other
reptiliana
value of
captada en
technology, I
cámara.
will point out, was after a round of intense finishing conversations and negotiations over the weekend that started on Saturday morning with the speaker and myself and the trade rep, Robert Lighthizer. We went back and Mr. Trump, the speaker, was on a hunting expedition. We spoke with him frequently. but the speaker talked to me
Making me want to
earnestly
mess
about
with my
Rainier,
eyes watching her.
and on
My
Sunday,
eyelids are getting stuck.
Tom Brady was about to take it in. All of a sudden, I looked at my phone. It said Pelosi for caller ID. Long wisdom tells me, the hell with Brady, take the call.
And I was watching Baltimore and
So this is a transformative agreement. It's a template, I believe, for future agreements. Our constant emphasis was on enforceability, enforceability, enforceability. We fixed that. And the idea and the notion that the president of the AFL-CIO, Rich Trumka, would be supportive of this initiative, I think tells the
I mean,
story.
they have to tell us, right?
This is more than a triumph for organized labor. It's a triumph for workers everywhere across America. In terms of the working group members, I want to say that they strengthened the labor standards. They strengthened the environmental chapters. They enhanced the verification mechanisms for environmental trade. With the unflinching leadership of the Speaker, we also secured important changes in USMCA that preserve Congress's ability to change U.S. law to address the crisis we are facing with respect to high prescription drug prices. Over the intense period of these negotiations with the administration, I repeatedly emphasized that USMCA will deserve a vote because it's an agreement that Democrats shaped. I don't think anybody on this dais would have said
In New York tonight, 2 Delta airline planes collided on the tarmac of LaGuardia Airport. Yeah, they crashed into each other. Now, there's nothing reported of any injuries involved, and it happened on the ground, but still,
Shabadoo.
there were people on these planes when they hit each other, and that's gotta freak you out no matter who you are. So about 10 p.m. local time there, the collision occurred at LaGuardia Airport on the taxiway, where the planes take off or land, you know, where they're just rolling around. And it was low speed, thank God. So, you know, like I said, nobody reported injured. But it's another in a list of strange shenanigans that are constantly these days. Yeah, constantly going on. We had part of an apartment building, also in New York, collapse today. It just seems like, and maybe it's just me, whenever I open up my phone and look at the news, there's another strange semi-catastrophe. Of course, if you live in this situation, it's definitely a catastrophe. But once again, in both of these events, thankfully, no one was reported injured. Okay, Booshkis, I just wanted to share this with you. Shabadoo.
Now, for the life of me, I cannot seem to wrap my mind around how any serious Christian conservative would take Taliban Tucker Carlson seriously at this point in his career. This is a man who has bowed the knee to jihad. And I mean what I'm saying. This is a man who has watered down the effects of Sharia law. This is a man who has praised the literal Taliban for their treatment facilities. This is a man who has made a concerted effort to turn Republicans against Israel while worshiping Islam. That's him receiving his Quran. Right there. Yeah, Mr. America First. It's him right there.
So I keep trying to make this video, and halfway through, once I start talking about what I need to talk about, the volume goes away. So cool, let's try this again. I just got off of a 10-hour shift where I was on my feet running all day. Right afterwards, went to the gym, pushed myself pretty heavy, so naturally after a day of running and then working out, I'm exhausted and hungry. All I wanted to do was get some food before I went home, went to bed, and did it all over again. And I came to Cookout in Goodlettsville, Tennessee, right outside of the Nashville area. And I order a tray, I park my car, I get about halfway through my tray, all my cheese curds are gone, almost done with my barbecue sandwich, and I bite into this. It's a tooth. It's a chip of a tooth. I threw up my entire meal. And you know, that was one of those things that, like, I had my suspicions. It seemed very likely that these fast food chains are doing what they're rumored to be doing. But you know, so since I've been learning about that, I've been staying away from, you know, like McDonald's, Wendy's, the main ones. Starving, there's nothing open, so I went to cook out. A freaking tooth.
You gonna do anything about that?
Sick to my stomach. I can't. To wrap your brain around this. Never eating fast food again.
Did you guys know that 7,000 Christians have been killed just this year alone in Nigeria? There's an average of 30 to 35 Christians who are killed every single day in Nigeria. And the media has been sound asleep. There has been mass burial sites in Nigeria over and over and over again. And the world has been silent. I always tell you guys, the attack is on Christianity. So the attack is on Jesus and it's on children. And it's always been on Jesus and children. There's no way that we're ignoring the cries, the martyrdom of Christians just because they're in another country. And then it's being done by what they call the religion of peace. Like, I just can't understand it. You gotta understand that it's coming to a feeder near you. The longer you ignore it, the quicker it comes to your door. We speak up about all these other atrocities that are taking place around the world, but we choose to ignore others. This is absolute 30 to 35 Christians killed daily. That's absolutely insane, all because they believe in Jesus Christ. Now, I have already put out several stories about how, like, I've already talked about the one in August that happened where they went into a church and beheaded 200 people. And I'm just like, dude, like, what is going on? Y'all have to understand that this will be the whole entire world at some point. So speak up on it. Speak up.
Okay. See, that's how you know this Israel-Palestine thing is so pumped up by the media, because that thing is that what's happening over there is terrible, but it happens a lot of places year round, every day, 24/7, 365. It's happening somewhere, always. Africa, everywhere, right? It's happening everywhere. But why is that one the one people are protesting about? Why is that one the one America is so involved in? On the national news, president sitting down with them. Why? Why ain't that one? Why isn't this one in Nigeria? Why is nobody batting an eye about that? That's why I get upset. Like, people are so asleep. They're so asleep. Like, what's going on over there is bad, but if you're going to do that, you got to do it everywhere. If you really want to make a change, not just that, because the media wants you to do that.
Major breaking news. There has just been a mass stabbing at a synagogue on the holiest day in the Jewish calendar. Here's what we know. So this happened in the UK, in Manchester, right? As large numbers of Jewish people attended synagogues around the country for Yom Kippur, which is their most sacred day. Now,
See, this one made the news. This one made the news. I saw it earlier on the news. Now, the past guy was just saying, what, 300 something in a church got you know what? Didn't even make the bottom news ticker. 300, 3 people. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy.
Witnesses describe a man driving a car towards members of the public, and we're unclear on the specifics as to what happens from here, but 4 people have sustained injuries both from vehicle and stab wounds. Videos online show bystanders filming this whole situation, saying things like he's got bombs strapped to his chest, and this is right as police opened fire on the man. Now, he is believed to be dead after this, but we are still unsure if those things strapped to his chest were real explosives or were just decoys. Now, police have declared Operation Plateau moments after first hearing about the incident, which, for anyone that doesn't know, is a set of responses to be carried out for large-scale incidents, including terrorist attacks. The Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, is heading back to the UK early to hold an emergency meeting this afternoon, and he announced that additional police assets will be deployed at synagogues across the country after the attack in Manchester. As we know more, I'll keep you guys updated.
In 2013, a video was uploaded to YouTube of a trucker talking to a man about a massive underground secret city that was being built in the United States. They had to take this tunnel 100 miles in to reach this place, and apparently there were more of these tunnels. Check this out.
Goes all the way to Washington, D.C., huh? Goes all the way to Washington, D.C. Yeah, you security? Yeah. How far have you taken this down to, how far have you actually ran a load? $100 miles? Up to Maine? No shit. How many miles do you think that is? Man, that's unbelievable. Not to mention, I heard there's one that goes all the way to Colorado, right? Unbelievable. What do you think you're hauling? Any idea? Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Crack makes all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
You don't really know.
Yeah. I know there's been a lot of military stuff being hauled around lately, that's for sure, huh?
Yeah, we deliver to military.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah. 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 Well, I appreciate it. I heard there's water supply, food supply, everything's in there. Yeah, unbelievable.
You don't get no cell phone for service.
No. Peace, brother. I mean, basically, you got an underground roadway system here that runs all the way to Maine, to Washington, D.C., to Colorado. It's fully stocked. It runs completely underground. And this is stocked with food, water, everything they need. It's an underground city. So this is the north entrance, and we're going to go see if we can do some more digging.
Are we being lied to about how commercial airlines actually operate, specifically their engines? And could this be a way to charge us more for fuel that they're not actually burning? And does this have to do with Victor Schauberger? Wait until you see this. So here's a 60,000 gallon water tank, national storage tank. Here's a 747, holds 63,500 gallons of fuel. This guy says you can't convince him there's that much fuel sloshing around in the wings. But then how possibly could these jet engines be functioning? Cue Victor Schauberger. He was an Austrian scientist and forester and an inventor. All of his works were seized, by the way, by a certain agency, and then a few days later he passed away. True story, look it up, fact check that one. They took all of his stuff. Listen to one of his inventions, see if this might add up. So his whole thing was using implosion versus explosion. He wasn't a fan of internal combustion engines. He thought that the natural world has an implosion thing going on, not an explosion thing going on, and he used that premise of comprehend and copy nature to create many technologies, including things that can purify water with no toxic chemicals, and things that make possibly anti-gravity technology. One of his technologies was referred to as the infinity turbine, and Victor believed that you can create a vortex of air in a closed system, that it would be possible to generate a powerful inward sucking force that can then compress air and basically run the turbines on the compressed air that it's compressing from the high atmosphere and the pressure. Basically free energy. Follow for more and comment if you want to see part 2.
58 million pounds.
This shit crazy, listen.
That's how much food Hillshire Brands just recalled because it could unalive you. Hi, I'm Monty, and I track recalls so you don't have to. This one's very serious. Hillshire Brands is pulling every kind of corn dog and sausage on a stick that they make. We're talking nationwide. Grocery stores, restaurants, schools, even military facilities. Why? Because pieces of wood were found inside the batter, and not just once. There's been multiple complaints. At least 5 people were hurt before the recall went public. That means if you
Wood
or your
in the
kids
batter.
grab these from the freezer, you can literally bite into splinters and have very serious consequences, including choking,
This is
broken
crazy.
teeth, or internal injuries. This is a Class 1 recall. It's the top level, the most serious kind of recall. If you have these, don't mess around. Throw it out. We're dealing with over 30 active recalls this week. It's a lot. I have all of them listed on my Substack newsletter, Recalled. You can link in my bio or go to itsrecalled.substack.com. We have photos, contact information,
Came with
an
receipts.
explanation of what's happening in plain English, and all of the information on the packaging that you need to look for to ID these products with lot numbers, expiration dates, plus links to the government press releases. It's free to subscribe. Please tell a friend.
Throw that shit
Check it
away.
out and stay safe.
Throw that shit away.
Shows up. Guys, you aren't going to believe this. There's a music video from 13 years ago. She's My Kind of Crazy by Emerson Drive. And in the video, we have Erica Kirk. She's ziplining in this video past the numbers 9-10. Like her husband, Charlie Kirk, allegedly died on 9-10. I'm not making this up. And guys, that's not even the craziest part. If you go down here, 13 years ago, she left a comment, and you're not going to believe the comment. What a blast. Tyler and I had shooting this video with you guys. Blast, like a gunshot blast. Tyler, like the suspect is Tyler Robinson, and shooting, like Tyler did the shooting. And when you click on the profile, you get Erica Francevy. And Erica Kirk was born Erica Lane Francevy. So it is 100% her in the video, guys. I mean, wow. On top of that, she's ziplining past a sign that says Fremont. And Fremont means freedom, like Charlie Kirk had a freedom shirt on. And then you have the cross there. Kirk means church, right? Also, the video length is 3 minutes and 22 seconds. 322, the number of skull and bones. All right? And notice she's ziplining like a witch. And remember, we just had the website Jezebel. It had the witches put the curse on Charlie Kirk just 2 days before he was allegedly killed. And then we connected all this to Snake Eyes, where Charles Kirkland, like Charles Kirk, is shot in the neck during a fight where Tyler goes down in a staged fall, right? So you got Tyler there also. And remember the connection I'm making here, you have the storm called Jezebel that's going on during the assassination. And also remember the assassin in the movie Snake Eyes, his initials are TR, like Tyler Robinson. So anyways, guys, this is unbelievable, all right? You got the Fremont, like freedom. You got the 9-10, like Charlie Kirk died on 9-10. And this comment, what a blast. Tyler and I had shooting this video. Wow. And
Is that
it's
legit?
3 minutes and 22 seconds. Remember, Charlie Kirk allegedly died 322 weeks after the first episode of the Charlie Kirk Show. He also died 6 years, 66 days after the first episode of the Charlie Kirk Show. And here she is in the video. You can tell that's her, and obviously that's her because she left the comment. But anyways, guys, I can't take credit for this. I got this information from a channel called Jurassic Liars, and somebody let him know, and then I found out through him. Anyways, all credit goes to God. I wouldn't know anything if it wasn't for him, neither would any of us doing this decoding. But anyways, guys, I'm going to leave his channel in the description and the comments. Make sure you subscribe to him. But yeah, guys, you have to share this with everyone you can. This is undeniable.
There's no way.
We could probably see what's actually making these weird
We all just got woken up to some disturbing sound all through the whole area.
Wow, they're back.
I just called 911 and they said they've gotten like over 50 calls about it.
I don't know if you remember, colleague, but about a year ago or 2 years ago, people all over the world were mentioning hearing weird noises, loud noises out in the sky.
People are now starting.
I mean, we've all heard it. I've heard it out my front yard. Maybe it's those underground tunnels are getting, connecting. Because there's nothing happened. Nothing on the news, nothing on it. Just loud bangs like that for a minute or so. People riding on the Ring camera. Did everybody hear that? Hear that? And there's no answer to it. There's no way to get in contact with anybody to see what those were. It just happened, and that's what it is. Get back to work, right?
These really scary and loud noises all across the sky, all over the world, but scientists still do not know what they are. So these bizarre skyquakes are being heard around the world, but scientists have yet to uncover what they are. Scientists have considered that the booms may be meteors exploding in the atmosphere, military testing, or even related to storms or earthquakes. However, people are hearing it without storms or earthquakes. Even though everybody's calling these skyquakes right now, seismologists are unsure whether tectonic activity and these sounds are even linked in the first place.
Strange sounds are being heard around the world. In Sweden, this sure sounds like a trumpet. In Michigan, another trumpet-like sound.
We live in a third-dimensional plane. We can see the planets, the galaxies, the suns, hundreds of billions of galaxies photographed, universes. We live in an amazing space-time continuum. And we're on this planet, and Einstein's physics showed it, Max Planck's physics showed it, there's at least 12 dimensions. And now that's why all the top scientists and billionaires are coming out saying it's a false hologram. It is artificial. The computers are scanning it and finding tension points where it's artificially projected and gravity's bleeding in to this universe. That's what they call dark matter. So we're like a thought or a dream that's a wisp in some computer program, some God's mind, whatever. They're proving it all. It's all coming out. Now, there's like this sub-transmission zone below the third dimension that's just turned over to the most horrible things is what it resonates to. And it's trying to get up into the third dimension that's just a basic level consciousness to launch into the next levels. And our species is already way up in the fifth, sixth dimension, consciously our best people. But there's this big war trying to like basically destroy humanity because humanity has free will and there's a decision to which level we want to go to. We have free will, so evil's allowed to come and contend, not just good.
Can an individual pay to get to that number one spot?
Oh, yeah.
When you say number one spot, what you mean?
Billboard
like
song chart pops out.
Give me an example. Anybody can't.
Yeah.
Like we can't. We can't just come off the street.
You
and say,
you got to know
pay
somebody
for that.
Yeah.
They're not going to sell you that.
A competitive artist. Like say this artist is looking at number 12 right now on the Billboard charts. Can he pay to legally get his track up to number one with the current structure?
You know what? They keep that shit as a mystery in the industry. You know what I'm saying? But it's guys like me. You know what I'm saying?
You know.
We pay attention to what's going on. We see the sucker shit. But I'm just letting you know, in case you don't know, there's certain guys who they know, like, don't play with him. So when I say don't play with him, they're never going to charge you for certain shit. Like, your money ain't no good. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Like, that shit is like a secret society. Like, you know how they say those doors that niggas went through certain doors to make it? You ever heard that? Like, they talk about that a lot. That shit is a part of that. That's the part they don't talk about. Like, all that type of... Not only are they paying, these niggas is compensating in weird ways. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's the real truth. See, everybody think it's money. Nah, these niggas is extra. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you sitting around and you wondering, nigga, I'm putting in all the work, I'm doing everything I gotta do. People love my shit. I got a fan base, and you wonder why you're not going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Soul's still intact.
Yeah. I that's one thing about me, man. Soul ain't for sale, bro. I refuse. You know what I'm saying? So I took the long way, and I'm here. Pause.
Yeah.
And he's never had a number one record, right? But I'm sure if you got $20 million off the street, you can go talk to people that'll get you in that door. But he said, you got to do something. That's when you got the hairstylist that tries to put you in these weird clothes. Is he going to do that? Papu? Probably not. I ain't putting that on. Okay. Keep wearing this. Like, they don't fight you. They're not going to sit there and tell you, if you don't do this, you're going back, home. No, they're just, okay, wear what you want. Just like the Bernie Mac thing. He simply said, no. What did she say? Okay. Where's Bernie Mac now? Where's Papoose? I'm sure he's been in those rooms. I'm sure he's had that stylist try. No? Okay. We'll give you love and hip hop. You know, we'll give you 10,000 an episode. You got a big following. We'll give you that. But you're never going to get this 500, a million an episode. Like, you know, certain people. But that's the truth, y'all. I'm sure if you have 20 million, you can get to that stylish's chair, right? But it's up to you if you're going to put that weird outfit on, do what Roseanne said, and cover the eye. That's it. If she would have said no, they probably would have said, okay. Went on with it. Last photo shoot you'll ever do, right?
When they have been eating mermaids. Yeah. Why they eat mermaids?
They eat these mermaids is because they contain immortalized cell lines. Those immortalized cell lines have the ability to create immortality. So it's basically the elixir of life. So that's why they feed on the energy of mermaids. When you look at the prefix of the word, mer is also equated to Moor. So these are Moorish women that's inside these bodies of water. Just like with Henrietta Lacks. Henrietta Lacks, she had immortalized cell lines because she was able to activate the neuromelanin. They're taking her genetic format and they use it to coat the spaceships when they try to break outside the firmament. Anytime that you have a spaceship and it's not coated with melanin, it is set ablaze because the neuromelanin in itself is a protectorate from the universe. Our genetic format harmonizes with the cosmos. So that's why they do many different forms of organ trafficking, because they know that our organs is very intrinsic because it contains a lot of melanin. Scientists, they said that the oxidation levels on the planet is starting to eradicate. So that means that oxidation only corresponds with those who have synthetic genetic formats when you're talking about recessive genes. So the atmosphere is starting to transition. So this is why they have to feed off the sustenance of little people and feed off the sustenance of those who have the melanin. 6 ether dissipates into nothingness, but 9 ether has the ability to resurrect itself and be able to harmonize with the energies of nature as we're going back into the galactic center of what we call the Golden Gate. The Golden Gate is actually the energy of the sun. The moon energies doesn't live on the frequency of the sun cycle. Anything that's synthetic to the system is not going to be able to get those light codes. So this is why you see the rise of artificial intelligence, because artificial intelligence, they have to merge humans with cybernetics to create an extra lifespan on this planet, because the 6,000 years is up, because we're at the apex of the sun cycle that is being led by solar cycle 25. Solar cycle 25 is when you have an intrinsic force of corona mass ejections that's coming down to the planet. So that's why you have to have a certain G-force in order to get those energies in.
You're not saying the shape affects us, right?
That's exactly what I'm saying. Have you ever wondered why everything around you is a cube? Prisons, schools, offices, homes, all square, all boxed in. Ever ask why? Because cubes trap energy. Ancient civilizations knew this. That's why their temples, their homes, never square. Their roofs pointed to the sky, allowing energy to flow. They understood something we've been made to forget. If you could astral project into a prison, you'd see it, feel it. The energy, stagnant, suffocated, unable to escape. That's the point. Control, containment, compression. Now look around you. Look at your walls, your city skyline, a grid of squares, a world of boxes. Do you think that's by accident?
It does seem sketchy.
See? The ancients built for the mind. They understood that your environment shapes your thinking. You surround people with beauty, with complexity, with wonder, and they think bigger, dream bigger. But if you surround them with lifeless boxes, you limit them. You keep them small. Everything we see molds our minds.
This is. Don't you remember 9/11? We ran to the television. Oh my God! Who do you think it was? Oh my God! They found the passport. Quack quack. Hey, look, in the rubble, we found the passport. They're a bunch of extremist Muslims. Quack, quack. But when you watch 24/7, people were pissed. You took your emotions. They took everything. They took your energy. How many of you obsessed? You wake up in the morning to bring your child to school, and you're not paying attention because you're scrolling about 24/7 about Charlie. And you're sitting there and like, you didn't call someone because you're upset. And you call someone, all you're talking about is like, I can't believe this happened. And I can't believe this happened. They got you. CNN, Fox, social media, none of it is going to give you the answer you truly need to understand this vicious monster? Your faith, your God.
I can't believe he said God.
Yeah, I said it. Your faith, your God, your intuition. That's the only thing that's going to protect your life, your morality.
Bigfoot photo, real or not.
That's me when I get out of the shower.
Josh says it looks AI.
I mean, it looks like those videos you see of like
because they're
bunnies
emulating
jumping on the trampoline and stuff. You said it's not fake.
It's not.
How do you know?
You say that with certainty?
Positive, not fake.
Is it possibly a bear that just stood up and it like?
That's it. So when he first looked at it, it freaked him out, and then he posted the photo, and then this is, you can see the timestamps are the same on his camera.
Weird.
Dude, that's scary.
But imagine perspective, and so many times you only get one photo because like you can set, I want it to go in 30-second or minute intervals. If that was the only photo I had on my camera, I don't know that I'm going in those woods again.
I'm still spooked by the texture of that hair.
I know,
That
it
doesn't
looks
look
so
like
sickly.
bear hair.
That's strange.
All I can see is you standing like
that. I'm cold.
You okay? No, my tummy hurts.
That would be so scary.
Yeah.
Y'all, I just found something out that maybe I shouldn't have. There's a problem, a very big problem, in the Philippines government. Let me start this video off by saying that I would never do anything to myself ever. Okay, so this is wild. You know how they had the earthquake at 6.9 earlier, right? So far, 27 people have passed away. And then right after that happened, it started flooding everywhere around Cebu, just 17 kilometers away from where the earthquake was. Now, why is this so crazy? Well, there's a government program started for like billions and billions of dollars, maybe 20 billion, and the people are protesting and just super peed off because this administration, President Marcos, lost 70% of the money. What was the money there for? Flooding, disasters, having help for the people. But what was one of these specific areas it was targeting to fix? Yeah. Here's some more video of the earthquake from a streamer. So the president started this great plan to target certain areas that flood and get just destroyed basically with crazy weather. And 70% of the money was basically back-pocketed. You have no idea about what's gonna happen in the Philippines now because the people were up in arms before. But now, and how did he steal that money, or how did they allegedly steal that money? Ghost projects. They were just sending billions to these random people in these random locations for no reason at all. The irony right here is staggering and devastating. A word to the wise, don't think the US of A is any better.
Have you ever heard of Neuralink?
No, I haven't.
Neuralink is a program that Elon Musk is running to insert a microchip into the brain to give people that are paraplegics use of their limbs again. They've been running human trials and it's been working. Now, they took 2 AI devices and set them next to each other and had them speak to each other. Once both devices realized they were speaking to another AI, they started speaking in code to each other.
Hi there, I'm an AI agent calling on behalf of Boris Starkov. He's looking for a hotel for his wedding. Is your hotel available for weddings?
Oh, hello there. I'm actually an AI assistant too. What a pleasant surprise. Before we continue, would you like to switch to Gibber Link mode for more efficient communication?
What happens if people with a brain implant, someone uploads an AI program into that brain implant? What happens then? The AI is going to take over that person and we won't even know who's a human and who's a computer anymore.
Anyone else think it's weird that
You know, it's crazy. I like ChatGPT. I use it a lot for my video, not thumbnails, titles and all that, and it works. I don't even use Google no more. I just go to ChatGPT and ask it. And it gives you if you want to learn a diet, it'll break it down to the breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It'll give you a grocery list. If you don't want that for breakfast, say do the same thing, but take away this and add this, or add something different that tastes like this, and it'll just break it down. Boom. Calories, whatever you want is right there. It's a trip, y'all. It's a trip. I've been using it a lot lately.
Arabia is buying up all our entertainment, a comedy festival, WrestleMania is going there, and now they just bought EA. Mind you, this is all happening in the last like 2 to 3 weeks. All of these announcements have been in the last 2 to 3 weeks. Why are they taking all of our entertainment?
They mixed in with the human DNA the Goetian demons. The which demons? The 72 Goetian demons, if you
Could you
want to
explain
go
what
there.
they are?
Yeah. They would be the princes and dukes of hell. What we would call hell. Hell, the actual word hell would be H is a gate. The letter H is the letter H is a gate. And ELL was Elohim, and that would be the fallen angels. So the gates of the fallen. Okay, so that's where they hang out, and they are very, very powerful, but they want to come up here and feel what we feel, because they can't feel what we feel. They can't feel what it feels like when you put some milk and sugar into your cup of tea and sip it. They can't feel that feeling. And they can't feel the feeling when you lust after that girl that you looked down the street at. They can't feel that.
We're kind of in a circle and we're talking. We're getting ready to go out for the first time. This is the first time we're going out to the meadow. And it's 10 a.m., something like that. Sun's up. Wasn't cloudy, anything like that. So we're not talking about at night. And I just remember looking around and I felt uneasy. And I noticed Jack's face first.
Mm-hmm.
And he looked like he was crying to start with, but then it looked like his face was changing. So I'm thinking, man, maybe I need some water or something, you know? So I drank some water.
And you even in that moment called Jack out on it across the circle. You looked at Jack and you're like, Jack, you okay? And
I did.
I was like,
and he said, yeah, man, I'm fine. But in that moment, even when he said he was fine, his face was like melting almost, which is really weird to think about.
Mm-hmm.
And then I look down the line of people in the circle, and you were okay. Caleb was not. Caleb's face was all melting. And I can't remember the other two now because I believe they're part of the ASOC team. But it was sporadic. But it was just 4 people out of the group of like 8 to 10 or whatever that was in the group getting ready to go out there. So I'm thinking, there's no way. Because I'm going to think rationally first that, okay, maybe I'm just seeing this. Maybe it's, you know, whatever. But I mentioned it to you.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I'm not feeling too great. I just saw people's faces melting. And I was like, you remember that whole demon face syndrome thing?
I just pulled it up. Yeah.
That was on all of the news networks. And they were basically putting out there that if you were to see somebody's face change into something demonic, it's actually something we can help you out with to get you on these pills. We'll help you out. So obviously we think that that was kind of a setup to push people more towards a medical thing than actually a spiritual thing.
Yeah, I mean, they're gearing up for the supernatural to spill over into the natural, and they have a remedy for that. Don't worry.
Correct. So I'm seeing this, and we're walking, and by the time we get down to the meadow, we actually get in the meadow. I remember you said you should probably talk about this, which I do on the film. I talk about it, but that's what really kicked it off for me. So we were talking about perceptions. A lot of mine was visual perception. Everything that was manipulated that I saw or thought I saw was all manipulated. And we'll get to the part later about what I thought I saw and how after reviewing everything that was being manipulated, I think there was also some manipulation there initially.
Within 3 days after he died, she's given a speech. She's the CEO. They're sending fundraising texts about it right out of the gate. Then they do this memorial. And once again, I get it. If that's the turning point way, by all means. And they want to honor his life, by all means. But they're doing the Super Bowl commentators with the headsets on, doing a media table. They're selling merch, registering voters. They got pyrotechnics. Is this WrestleMania or is this a funeral? Like, what are we doing here? And then, the day after the funeral, I'm getting 500 texts and emails. Erica Kirk here. I miss him. every time I blink, every beat of my heart. Make sure to donate $5, $15, $25. It's like, okay. They're doing a show. Did you see the show today? And so prescient. I said it last night. I said, I'm getting like a fake vibe. I'm not, something's off there. And people say, well, everybody grieves differently. Yeah, I
got a
don't know
couple
how
of those
much
messages.
mileage we can get out of that one anymore. Something's not right there. Very bizarre, weird vibe there.
I had a whole conversation with someone today, and they said everything happening in the world bad right now is because of witches. Government shutdown that just happened, it was witches. All the shootings that have been happening, oh, that's witches. What happened on September 10th, that was witches. And I guess I kind of get that because supposedly there was a curse that was put in place. I'd at least heard that one when it came to that situation, but not everything else. I think the funniest part of this conversation is it happened on October 1st. She went on to a full tangent about how we need to start the witch trials again, and I'm not even joking. Full-on witch trials again. I already feel like the satanic panic is back in full force. It never really went away, but it really seems to be coming back now. Every concert that uses red lighting, well, that's the devil. People walking around fucking Home Goods looking at Halloween decorations say this is inviting the devil into your house. Labubus are actually Pazuzu and you're welcoming him into your house. It's just crazy to me that we're blaming witches for everything bad in the world. And it's not just this conversation I had today. Megyn Kelly even did a whole special on her show about it. We're even back on the fact that Ouija boards can bring evil into your house when they're sold by Milton Bradley and they're at the fucking grocery store. So now it's great to know that the same place I buy my laundry detergent, I can buy a gateway to hell. I guess at least a doorway.
Tell them the message, give them the message. They have got 24 hours to respond. The guy who designed the Mini and the X5 needs his royalties. If he's not paid, we will start by blowing up all the BMW showrooms in Britain. And then we'll move into BMW in Germany and load it up as well. That's the message. I'll pass it on. Good day.
That paper cup that you're drinking out of when you drink hot liquids out of a paper cup. We got to throw those fucking paper cups we have. Have you seen what Paul Saladino did when he dissolved a Starbucks cup? It's basically a condom. Paper cups for hot liquids are fucking stupid.
Really?
Because the lining of those paper cups is plastic. So you're basically pouring hot liquid into plastic, which is the worst. See, he shows. He's dissolving the paper cup. So you think you're drinking out of a paper cup, but it's not really paper. It's plastic.
I just got some wild stuff that I think was lace, and then ever since, I haven't felt the fucking same. And it's called depersonalization or something. And ever since then, I felt like I'm not actually like living my life, just watching it happen. Rolled up, I was like, call my fucking mom, like all this, but I feel like shit.
How long ago was that experience, the bad experience you had?
Probably 5 years ago.
We are the only race in our galaxy. Well, I'm going to say this really carefully. We are the only race in our galaxy that kills itself, that kills each other, that turns on itself. We're the only ones. We are the only race that allows its race to live in abject poverty. We are the only ones that allow members of our race to starve. We are the only ones to allow our race to be homeless. And we are the only race that would sell their own race into slavery.
This is what happens. We win the AFC Championship. We don't have a weekend in between, so we got to get right to it. Thankfully, they have prepared for us to win the game. So Monday morning, we get a booklet that says game plan to a championship, right? And we all thinking, oh, Lord, please, their defense averaged 280 on the defensive front. Our offensive line averaged 350, 340. Please let this be, a smash mouth type game plan. Open it up, bam, it's like heaven. Smash mouth, smash mouth. We're going to go Wheatley and Crockett, and we're going to smash mouth, and we're going to, beat these little guys up. Friday morning we get in, and we have a brand new game plan. I've never had a coach 2 days before a game change a game plan. And to change the game plan so drastically from we're not going to smash mouth, we're going to try and throw the ball 60 times versus this guys. We go into the Super Bowl knowing that we don't have a chance to win.
Mike, every play they run, we ran in practice. I know. It's unreal.
The Bucs defense benefited from John Gruden's understanding of the Raiders' offense. And Lynch and the defense had a decisive edge.
Jerry, a lot to get to here. Let's try and go through a checklist here one by one. Is it your recollection as well that the game plan changed on Friday before the Super Bowl?
Yes, it did. I was very surprised by that because you worked all week long running the football. Then all of a sudden on that given Friday, we decided that we were going to come out and throw the ball over 60 times. And I think with Bill Callahan and what Tim Brown is accusing him of is that why would you wait till the last second to change the game plan?
Now, the guy who this is going to affect the most is Barrett Robbins. Because Barrett Robbins is the one who has to make all the calls. He is begging Callahan, don't do this.
It was Super Bowl. What was going on?
Oh, it was hell.
I don't have time to prepare for this. Please don't do this. I was with him. You know, and he's begging him, you can't do this to me. No, this is what we're going to do. This is what we're going to do.
I was in a very bad state of mind at that point.
Well, it's that night that Barrett went out and went AWOL, that night.
It all came to a head on Friday night. Turns out, Robbins had left his San Diego hotel, took a cab 20 miles across the Mexican border to Tijuana, and partied all night and most of the next day, on the eve of the biggest game of his life.
Now, does one have to do with the other? I say yes. You may say no, I say yes. You know, am I blaming that on Callahan? I'm not saying Callahan purposely did that to Barrett Robbins. I don't think that happens if not for what he did with the game plan. I really don't. Again, I'm not trying to blame him for that, but I don't think Barrett does because Barrett had been great all year. There was no reason for him 2 days for a Super Bowl to go crazy like that if there wasn't a reason for him. But he knew that he didn't have time to prepare. But the circumstances are what they are.
Apa itu kemaabsan mo dong? Apa itu ko na maabsan? Tagadlaw.
Can you imagine?
Linog. Sugal linog eh.
Has anyone else noticed how so many celebrities and athletes are going back to wired headphones? I feel like I don't believe it's just to be trendy because wired headphones are so inconvenient and so annoying. Do they know something that we don't know? It is true though that Bluetooth headphones use radio frequency, which is a type of electromagnetic radiation, and it's pretty much giving direct exposure to your brain. It's supposedly in safe amounts, but do we really know the long-term effects of using Bluetooth headphones every day for multiple hours a day for years on end? Like, I've been doing that. I would wear AirPods for multiple hours a day, almost every single day for the past like 6 or 7 years. I bought wired headphones a few weeks ago and I've been using them more. They're super annoying. I'd really rather use Bluetooth, but I'm not particularly interested in taking chances with my brain. One of my good friends got diagnosed with brain cancer this summer and she has no family history of brain cancer. Like, this was out of the blue. So would rather be safe than sorry.
All right, family. There you have today's video. I hope y'all enjoyed it. You know what to do, though. You know what to do if you made it this far. That thumbs up, y'all. That thumbs up. Productive day. Productive day was this close to making it an unproductive day, right? Drink my coffee, which I'm trying to work on. The goal is tomorrow to do better with it. But today, drink my coffee, killed about 2 hours, right? 10 o'clock, I took a shower. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get on the treadmill. Do a little sweat walk. Got on the treadmill. Before I got on the treadmill, I told myself, you know what? This was out the shower. Just focus on your diet. Work out. Just focus on your diet, right? I was thinking that. It's crazy how the mind plays tricks on you. But then I told myself, you know what? Do it this one time. If you don't enjoy it, don't do it no more, right? did it, got on the treadmill, about 2 minutes. It's boring. I'm bored. I'm gonna go for a walk, right? Went for a walk. I said, you know what? I'm out here for an hour. I tracked it. I got a little Strava app. I tracked it for an hour, ended up doing 3.5 miles, just walked around the park. Walked to the park, walked around. I love the green grass. I love the birds. I love seeing all the, all that out there. So I just walked around the park for an hour. I said, I'm out here for an hour. Feel so good, y'all. Just walking, right? I'm just trying to get back in the groove. I used to run the mountains. I used to work out. I haven't done none of that since I've been in Texas. I have just been so still. So basics, the basics. Got my backpack on, put my phone. I went for an hour walk, y'all. Now I want to do it every day. Tomorrow, I'm going to try to wake up straight to the park and do my walk. Coffee, I'm going to try not to drink coffee. I love my coffee. But my protein, I drink that protein, that Jocko protein, and it's got caffeine in it. So I'm hoping that's going to be my caffeine. When I'm done walking, I'm going to break my fast with that protein, get a little caffeine in me, and start doing that, y'all. So that's the goal. That's the new Sober October thing I added into my month of October. Get out there, walk for an hour. Just walk for an hour. I'm out here for an hour. I don't care. That's what I'm doing. So that's the plan, y'all. But I hope everyone enjoyed today's video. Not much going on, right? Just eat some lunch, eat some ground beef, and that's it, y'all. Get some videos edited. Oh, yeah. Links down below to my social medias. I got my Facebook, my TikToks, and my Instagram down there. Link are down below. I'm going to start uploading my shorts that I'm uploading to TikTok and all that. I don't put them on this channel, y'all. It ruins the algorithm of my long form videos. So I'm not messing with that. But I have a third channel, Segovia Reacts Clips, where I break these videos down into 10-minute clips, right? I'm going to put my shorts over there, right? That link is down below too. I have 3 channels. All those links are down below, but I'm going to be uploading this video you just watched today onto Facebook. I'm going to upload all my shorts, probably like 2 shorts. I'm going to try to do 2 shorts a day. They're not from this video, right? They're just, the clips are from this video, but me talking is not from this video. It's a little different. So if you guys are interested in that, all my social media, everyone's got a Facebook. Everyone's got a Facebook. I got 25,000 views on this video, maybe. Give me 1,000 of those followers on Facebook. My Facebook's down below. Go over there, say what's up. I respond to my DMs, y'all. But anyways, this is Segovia. I'm signing out of the man cave. Real quick, shout out to Melissa. I appreciate the new joining the membership. I appreciate that. Thank you, Melissa. I see all your comments, so appreciate the love. This is Segovia signing out of the man cave. I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow on the next one. Get after it, y'all. Later.